Welcome! In this video I'm going to take the engine out of this XJ Yamaha 650, a step-by-step of how to do it. This is a 1982 model that was left for 10 or more years and the engine is completely seized up. I've removed the tool slipping, cursing and bashing of fingers from the video. First of all, remove the 10mm nut at the back of the tank. This one was slightly damaged from someone having to go at it before, and the plate that holds the tank in place. Next, pull the tank back gently and remove the two connecting tubes. One is the main petrol feed and the other is the vacuum coming up from the carburetors. Next, remove both side panels and then loosen the four nuts and remove the entire seat unit. Next, to remove the battery, loosen the negative first, then the positive, and then take the battery out. To remove the battery case, loosen the 10mm nut at the top and the 12mm nut at the bottom. To loosen the airbox, loosen the 10mm nut at the bottom and the screw at the top, and also take the fuse holder off the top of the box with its two screws. Remove the igniter unit and voltage regulator mounting board and disconnect all connectors. Taking note of the earthing cable from the engine which connects to the frame here at the airbox. You'll need to remove the clutch cable from the engine, and I forgot to video that part, sorry. Loosen the screws on all four carbs at the engine and at the airbox. Disconnect the throttle pull cable at this stage. Next, have fun wiggling the carbs and trying to get them out, and then the throttle return cable needs to be disconnected and the carbs are out. Disconnect the breather pipe from the engine. Disconnect all four spark plugs if you haven't already done so, and then loosen the tacho cable from the front of the engine. Remove both horns and the bracket that holds the horns to the frame. Pull back the rubber from where the shaft drive meets the engine. With the engine in gear, loosen one nut, then release to neutral. Move the shaft drive and loosen the next nut and continue till all four nuts are loose. It's always a good idea, as you remove nuts, to bag them and identify them for later. Remove the exhausts. Loosen off the engine bolts. Drain the oil if you haven't already done so. Next, remove the oil filter. I had to use a vice grips, which I don't like using, but the nut had been damaged previously. Remove the starter motor to give more clearance for later when you're actually removing the engine. This model had an oil cooler fitted, so I'm going to remove it as one unit. A 32mm spanner releases the bottom section. Halfway up the cable there's a hex bolt, and then two 10mm bolts at the bottom of the oil cooler, and then there's a split pin at the top. Just so you can see, it's not always plain sailing. The crash bars had seized on. I had to cut the bolts and actually cut in the center where the crash bars had welded themselves together to get them off. Remove the rear brake pedal. Loosen the front engine bolts to be removed later. Loosen the rear engine bolts that also hold on the footrests. I then strap the engine with the straps coming out on the right side attached to my crane. Now remove the engine bolts. When I moved the engine a little, I could get access to where the electric cables were connected with a tie to the back of the engine. I then disconnected the wiring that was related to these cables and threaded them through and out the right side, which was the side I was going to pull the engine out. This was so I wouldn't damage any of the cables when I was finally removing the engine. And finally, after a bit of jiggery pokery, I got the engine out on the right side as suggested in the manual. Woohoo! Didn't this video make it look simple as I'm nursing a bruised finger? Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Thank you. See you again. Bye. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you.